If you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear some flowers in your hair.
Hi, well, welcome back to Chateau Teyssier. This is our fifth part, but a very special one because we're in the middle of the Napa Valley.
So we're not in Chateau Teyssier at all.
We're not in Chateau Teyssier at all, exactly. And although I have to say, the vats remind us of Chateau Teyssier. We have a little corner of this winery, which is Forever Teyssier. And a little bit about the vintage here. They're slightly behind us, aren't they?
Yes, they usually, well, it's Cabernet Sauvignon as well, so they're usually behind from our experience of 2 years here. And apparently a wonderful summer, excellent growing conditions, and excellent fruit potential as well. Picking's going to start here in a few days, possibly a week. We're just out here to check on that.
And we're going to be going out into the vineyards and obviously having a sticky taste and see what's happening out there. The difference this year is last year we made 1,500 cases here, and those will be for release next year. This year we're doing 6,000 cases, and we'll be bringing in a sort of varietal range which we'll be telling our clients all about during the months to come.
If you're going to San Francisco.
Hi, we're back here at Chateau Teyssier, except we're not. This is a special edition from Napa. As we mentioned in the last episode, Neil and I have got an aeroplane and we've arrived here, and we're in the fabled Talon Vineyard, and I'm with Dave Mitchell, who's the head of viticulture for Andy Beckstoffer's organization. And these are vines. These are vines that we're going to be looking at picking probably over about the next 7-10 days, something like that. And Dave, what have we done here? We were talking a little bit before about green harvesting, and what's your take on that? Your approach on green harvesting?
Well, early on, after fruit is set, we go through and look at the crop and assess what is in balance and what's not in balance, and then we moderate that all the way through the growing season, and we try to thin out and be ahead of the curve. And so by saying that, what I mean is that we try to make sure that we're not compromising flavors, but we're not sacrificing flavors. And so what we're trying to do is make sure that the fruit has equal distribution, good balance with the shoot ratio that the vines are configured with, and so ultimately all of that comes into harmony, and we get the best flavors.
And what makes Talon? Why do people talk about Talon in such a sort of within the wine industry? Talon. You talk about the Napa Valley. Everybody kind of knows that Talon is something magical. And why is that?
Well, it's a very,
other than you're working for the organization.
I would like to take all the credit, but I can't. Number one, I've got a tremendous staff that works very hard to make sure we pull everything together. But the truth of the matter is that Talon, this particular piece of property, is placed on a very special part of the earth, and so everything comes together. Where it is, the soils that were given here, and they were generated and they evolved over time, has just come together. The climate is very unique. It's perfect for Cabernet. We have cool nights. We have a maritime influence
coming up from the bay, I guess.
From the bay, as well as from the Pacific Ocean. We are only 60 miles as the crow flies from the Pacific Ocean, so we do get influence from the Pacific Ocean. But the daytime temperatures can be very warm. Sometimes that can be a disadvantage. We have to adjust or try to protect so that we don't get too much damage. But by and large, I mean, that is what makes Taucan special.
Do you think it's also that, I mean, obviously we're one from the point of view of a sense of place and the concept of terroir, a lovely French expression, but that the aspect of having warm days and having cooler nights, that gives, you know, wines that are in balance from the point of view of acidity and things like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, because the soils here are very, very good, they're not super rich, they're not very fertile. In fact, they're somewhat limiting. Allows the vines to stress as you may a little bit, but given the configuration, the way we have laid the vineyard out and planted it, we've gotten the vines to grow to a specific level of balance, which again, the fruit really expresses that.
Sure, sure. And the only other thing expressing itself was something from Wisconsin on the motorway there, which is something from Harley Davidson. Nothing to do with us. Anyway.
If you're going to San Francisco.
So I'm here with Frank, and we're in this, surrounded by this huge barrel setup, which is something we don't see too much in Bordeaux, because the barrels tend to be all down on the ground. But here they go all up in the air. So I don't want you to be concerned about how tatty these barrels are looking, because they're probably not ours. However, Frank, we've been tasting Good Times, Bad Times, Crossfire, and Wavelength. What did you think?
They're all tasting very good this year. The Good Times, Bad Times had a really nice texture to it. The flavors were very complex. The fruit's kind of showing very nicely now. Crossfire's looking very nice. A little bit acidic. I'm looking forward to the fruit popping up in that one. Wavelength is tasting great. I think it's going to be a great buy.
Great, good. And we're talking about 2008 there. That's the wine we made last year. 2009, everybody's screaming about the vintage like they are in Bordeaux. So, you know, and out with Dave Mitchell today, and really quite interesting.